Do you ever get the feeling you're pushing people away without meaning to? Maybe you've been told you overthink things, that you correct people a little too much, or that you ask way too many questions. What if those annoying habits aren't flaws at all? What if they're actually signs of a highly intelligent mind at work? Today we're exploring 5 common behaviors that can point to a brain wired for high-level processing, and we'll give you the social playbook to manage them like a pro. Let's start with a big one. You hear someone say something that's just a little bit off, and you feel an almost physical urge to jump in and fix it. The correction might not even change the story, but it's like an alarm goes off in your head that you just can't ignore. To others, this can come across as nitpicky, but it often comes from a mind with highly tuned error detection. For some intelligent people, accuracy is everything, and their brains automatically flag inconsistencies that others might just let slide. This isn't about trying to be difficult. It's about a cognitive preference for precision. In fact, this lines up with the idea of a growth mindset, where paying close attention to errors is seen as an opportunity to learn and get smarter. So, how do you handle this without derailing every conversation? Before you speak, ask yourself, does this correction really add value right now? In a casual chat, building a connection is often more important than perfect accuracy. If you feel you must clarify, try framing it as a team effort. That's a great point, and to build on that, I think I remember it this way. This turns a potential correction into a collaborative contribution. Are you that person who always has just one more follow-up question? Everyone else seems ready to move on, but you're still trying to map out the context, the logic, and all the possible exceptions. It can feel like you're holding up the whole group, but this habit is often a sign of intellectual humility and a deep processing style. Instead of just taking information at face value, your mind is working overtime to uncover biases and question assumptions. This drive to find evidence is a hallmark of strong reasoning. Psychologists see this kind of deep curiosity not just as a tool for learning, but as the very foundation for building a more durable and nuanced understanding of the world. To avoid overwhelming people, try batching your questions. Pick 1 or 2 key points and lead with, "just so I'm on the right track." This signals your goal is to understand, not to interrogate. In more social settings, try shifting from clarifying to open-ended questions like, "Tell me more about that." It invites a conversation, not just an analysis. By the way, if any of this is sounding familiar, do us a favor and hit that subscribe button. You ever been in a fast-paced conversation and just stopped? The silence hangs in the air, and you can feel people thinking you're lost or zoned out. But inside your head, things are anything but quiet. That pause is often a sign of deep processing. Instead of firing off a knee-jerk reaction, your brain is busy sorting through multiple ideas, weighing different angles, and structuring a more thoughtful response. This moment of silence is linked to better self-regulation and reasoning. Research into cognitive function suggests that pausing before speaking is tied to executive functions, which are core mental skills. It's not a sign of slowness, it's a sign of depth. To make these pauses less awkward, you can give a little heads up. A simple, "That's a great question, let me think on that for a second," works wonders. It normalizes the silence, shows respect for the question, and gives you the space you need to formulate the insightful response you're known for. Do you find yourself automatically stress-testing ideas? Someone shares a plan, and your mind instantly starts running what-if simulations, spotting all the potential risks and weak spots. This is an incredibly valuable skill, but in a casual chat, it can come across as negative or combative. This tendency reflects advanced strategic thinking. Your brain is exploring counterarguments to make an idea stronger, not just to shoot it down. This process is a powerful antidote to groupthink and leads to more robust, well-considered decisions by challenging assumptions before they become problems. The key to doing this without alienating everyone is to signal your support first. Try something like, "I really like where this is headed." One thought to make it even more bulletproof might be, "This frames your critique as a contribution, not an attack." And in personal conversations, instead of just pointing out flaws, try asking questions that help others see different angles, like, "What do you see as the biggest potential upsides and downsides?" A topic you're passionate about comes up, and suddenly you're 10 minutes into a detailed monologue, only to look up and see your friend's eyes have completely glazed over. You didn't mean to give a lecture, you just wanted to share the whole, beautiful picture. This habit is often a sign of what's called layered thinking, a form of deep processing where you try to anticipate your listeners' questions and fill in all the gaps for them. However, psychologists also note that over-explaining can sometimes be a protective habit driven by an anxious desire to avoid being misunderstood. You're trying to manage the other person's perception by giving them all the information at once. To share your passion without overwhelming your audience, practice the elevator pitch. Try to nail your main point in 30 seconds. If your listener seems engaged and asks for more, you've got the green light to go deeper. Pay attention to their body language. If you see them zoning out, pause and bring it home with, "Anyway, the main takeaway is," this lets you share your excitement without leaving your audience behind. So the next time you catch yourself pausing to think, correcting a tiny detail, or going down a rabbit hole of questions, take a moment. These aren't necessarily social flaws. They can be the outward signs of a complex, highly active mind. The trick isn't to suppress these cognitive gifts, but to build the social wisdom to manage them. By learning when and how to deploy your analytical mind, you can turn these annoying habits into your greatest assets for connection, communication, and making a real impact. Which of these behaviors hit close to home for you? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and check out our other videos exploring the signs of a sharp mind. Thanks for watching.